Right, we are pointing in the right direction. So let's go.
Refresh.
No, it won't come up on it. I've had to go out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which one is it?
This season.
It's radar fire.
I know.
It's really touched. Yes. It's not me this time.
Is this a new one? Oh, right, okay. So it'll be a new one, right.
Yeah.
Right. With the-
That's it.
That's about right.
Okay, let me just.
Yeah.
Right, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies about being a few minutes late.
You should have plenty of time, Kev, to stop you talking. We're actually a minute.
You know what I like?
You should remain silent for 7 minutes.
Right, guys, April, flipping out, 7 matches left. Where's the season gone?
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
I know, where's the season gone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so on there as well, that's excellent. So playoffs, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and by the way,
It's always says automatic.
well, that's good. Well, there's enough teams playing enough teams, but yeah. So, and out today, by the way, if you're planning ahead, the start and end of next season's been published today, hasn't it? Yeah. Somebody actually asked me a while ago, and I didn't think they brought that out until the AGM in June. So, right, so we're online.
Yeah, I'm
We're
just
all,
going
let's just
to.
copy the link into the old link.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure people who know these things. So right away, we'll kick off with recent match experiences. Let's just check what matches we've had since we were together last time. It was 8th of March last time we met, so let's see what we had since then. Where's the results here? Results. Come on. So since last time we have had Salford away. Oh, we've had Newport at home. Newport at home.
Oh, yeah.
Salford away. Notts County away. Harrogate at home. Barrow away. And Chesterfield. It's been a busy month, hasn't it? Since last time, flipping heck. I hadn't realised there'd been quite that much. So let's start with away experiences. I didn't go to Salford. Any good, bad, indifferent from Salford?
It was cold.
It was very cold.
It was very cold, and they liked water as sprinklers.
Right. I was in
Those of us to the
I was in
right.
Lisbon and it was wet.
Yeah, those of us to the right goal had to scarper at one point. Yeah.
Oh, so sprinklers, right? Okay. Was that the wind that was blowing it in, or just?
We
If
think
you're-
someone was having a bit of fun with it, to be fair.
Oh, okay. Sprinklers onto the fans. That's right.
Yeah.
But match all right. Everything else okay
Oh,
with that?
match-
True blue, all good. Yeah.
Plenty of time for that one.
How many did we take there? About.
600 and something.
Oh, crap.
Wasn't it
Oh,
700, wasn't it?
Yeah, 600.
oh, right. Oh, that's good. For a Tuesday. So no, look, it's such a small footprint there. Was there a fan zone or anything like that?
But yeah, it was
Yeah.
decent enough.
Was it?
Yeah, they had the best caterers because the previous year, the caterers in the away end did the home food, but they figured out they could make more money out of away fans, so the home fans weren't very happy. It's quite a famous Manchester chain that was doing the away
Oh,
food.
right. Oh, right. Oh, that's clever. That's clever. And it physically, where was the fan zone?
It's a small stadium,
yeah.
but they made the most out of it. It was all shipping containers based and it was racked.
Ah, right. Oh, that's good.
Not an external one, but an internal.
It was like a concourse, really, wasn't
Yeah.
it? But not a concourse.
Yeah, inside, outside type thing. So, what everything? Notts County away? All okay?
Yes, I think some of the ones that were coming up to the seats a bit later on, there were some issues that were holding them down on the concourse.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We
got
were
the
already
stu-
up, yeah, there was a lot leaning over looking down the dormitory, so.
We've got people coming up and there were stewards telling them to sit down. They're like, we can't sit down, the seats have gone.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, sit down. And they're like, we can't physically go anywhere.
Now, I don't know if you work one of these, but from the other side, it looked like, because they'd only put tickets in the upper tier, but before kick-off there were quite a few people had moved down into the lower tier, so with allowing people who couldn't stand up or couldn't see to go down. 'Cause it just looked sensible to me.
It would be sensible to use that a lot of it. I mean,
Yeah.
we were up near the top, we had to wipe the seats to sit down because they were covered with dirt.
Yeah.
And I had problems walking down where it's steep, where there's nothing to hold on to. It's all right going up, but coming down is difficult.
Yes.
But I did see people who went at half time and stayed down.
Yeah.
Well, so they should have made some allocation for elderly people or whatever.
But Sylvia was right at the front of that bit, was saying that, she was speaking to people who they'd said, look, we've got to stand up because everybody's standing up and can't see. And they were sort of invited to come down. So I don't think there was any steward issues if people did want to go into that. But it probably looked as though there were maybe 80 or 100 people in the lower tier. There weren't millions.
Yeah.
But it just
The
looked as
issue
though
was stewards standing up in front of us on the second row. Our fans walked right.
of the upper tier.
At the upper tier. And at one point we got stewards stood in front of us.
And did they move when you suggested
Oh
that?
no. Thankfully we just ended up all stood up, but I've got children behind me, so I didn't want to be standing up looking their view.
Well, that just struck me as being a bit of sensible stewarding there with them letting them.
Having that lower block of supporters in front below our allocation made Notts County's decision to limit the numbers look totally ludicrous. But when you look, because you're looking across to it, and then there was just this small block of spectators, obviously our spectators, and nothing either side of them.
But I believe you
No,
might
you have to
know, I'm
limit
not
it
saying you will
because,
know this, because the concourse, I think now getting back into the league, the concourse was an issue, wasn't it?
Watford was much smaller concourse. I know it's an FA Cup match, but Watford was tiny and they still.
They can't fit capacity in that because it's not up to SGSA standard, but it's a lot more than 1900. It was tit for tat. They don't mind admitting that.
Yeah.
They was only going to give us 10%, no more, and
that was it.
It's their own pockets.
yeah.
Mind you, people were trying to after 4 consecutive defeats, people were trying to flog them before we went. So
there were some in the home end, I believe.
There was.
Some of
Yeah,
them
there
from
was
Watford
quite a
was
few.
Who did that? Because if you live not in Chesterfield itself, but nearby, who's to say where through your support or whatever? And I don't think there was one of those you've got to be a member 2 weeks before or anything like that. There was nothing like that, was there? So Barrow away, apart from it being freezing cold and horrible.
It was a joke.
Yeah. Well.
I saw Zoe in a poncho stuck in the rain.
Yeah, and of course you had to stand, that you couldn't see, because I know Sylvia and Simon moved to the other end because Simon isn't capable of standing for 90 minutes. And so they went.
They would be there.
Yeah.
They told us they would be there.
I mean, to be fair, they told us because
we couldn't get any tickets.
Well, you told me that you couldn't get a ticket.
no,
Yeah,
and then Ollie Banks got it for us.
Oh, well done.
But
They told us we wouldn't be undercover.
they told us it would, And they said, when we got there, Chap said it's going to rain about 3 o'clock. I mean, it started about 12, I think.
And it blew on us.
Yeah, yes, it was going your way, wasn't
Freezing.
it?
Yeah.
No.
So a good job it was down.
It's a good job there was some policemen near us.
Well, I was stood further back. I was lovely and dry.
What was that temporary stand like? Did it do a job? Oh, right.
Better than chilling goose.
Yeah, we've got a room. But it looks as though it's going to blow off at any minute.
Well, because the wind
Every
set
time,
off, wasn't it?
but it was gusting wind just as we got a corner, so we were like watching this corner just going, thinking, it might be all right, and of course this gust of wind, felt like it was going to take the roof off.
I know that there was a couple of people said that there was a gap between the 2 bits of tarpaulin, so anybody that wasn't fully under
You
it
got the full
got
gate set
absolutely.
experience.
The flood drain was in the middle,
Yeah.
so one half of the seating was wet. and all of it was blowing because there's no side on the stand
No side.
whatsoever, so it was just blowing straight through.
The rationale, I'm sure you'll guess, the rationale, you could have 2,000 seats in the Football League, you give them a year or two grace, but, probably first season they thought, well, if we go back down, there's no point in doing it. So they put that, because I'm sure you saw it, but there was an exact equivalent to the other side of the stand as well. They'd done that little bit on the terracing, and then I don't know if you spotted the other end where Sylvia was in the bus stop.
Yeah.
Is a tiny bit of terracing, and they put 2 rows of seats in it just to get to the number. I don't think anybody was actually sitting in there. I think there were only ball gatherers that were in there. But just to get to the number of 2,000 or whatever.
There wasn't any ball boys.
Barrow.
Yeah, Barrow. On the highlights, I noticed
We wouldn't have seen them anyway.
there wasn't
You couldn't see-
anybody.
You couldn't see the line.
No,
There was
Couldn't see the line,
there was
couldn't see the guys, couldn't
I
see
didn't
that
see
corner.
any get any balls.
No, the fans
So
don't
we're
do that.
For the first time in many years, I was glad that the press box was behind glass.
It looked like boots.
I noticed you was very comfy behind the glass.
Took my coat off. Lovely. Took my coat off.
I'm thinking around home movies that took tea
Yeah. So the wheelchair facilities were non-existent with the, and I suspect that the bus stop that we went to probably only held about 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, probably better than we went last time, because last time we stood under floodlights on some grass.
Yes. But it was in August and it wasn't freezing cold.
Apparently, there were 4 Chesterfield fans already in there.
Oh, right, okay.
I could see,
Pete Wycombe told us there were 4.
I could see Sylvia.
But he didn't know names of
He
them.
didn't know names who they were. He knew names of 2 of them.
Oh,
Which was
right.
There was
Sylvia
someone
and
else
Julian.
like coach, wasn't
Yeah.
there?
It was 2 further along in there.
Yeah, there was
bush
one
shelter
later
behind
on.
the
There
goal.
was in
Oh, there was another one.
A clear perspex bush shelter just inside the goal. Same end as Silver in.
Yeah.
Another one there.
Oh, the one right behind the goal.
Right behind the goal,
Yeah,
yeah, just a perspex.
I looked in there, and if you'd have sat at wheelchair level, you would have seen.
Yeah, there was some.
Because the bus stop that she was in was raised,
Yeah.
but that wasn't, and you wouldn't have been able to see over the
No.
adverts.
No, there was somebody who wanted at Chesterfield, because with the chaplain campaign, was named.
Yeah. But one of the things that the club's been encouraged to do on the league audit is tart up the concourses, which we are doing. But I have to say, the little fan zone at the opposite end to where you were at Barrow, we've got some lovely little bits and bobs on the wall.
Yeah,
and everything like that. It's really nice.
Yeah, we went round Chesterfield. It was,
Yeah, it was nice. They use the best of what they've got, which is very big. They've done it really well.
Yeah.
And the food and drink stand right at the bottom of that was, they've got a massive variety. They've got all oodles of bits and bobs there, and very nice people as well.
Yeah.
We went in there before kick-off.
Yeah.
People.
People who were
Lovely
really
people,
nice, old people were around,
Well, we were for some reason on the mistake, we weren't on the car park list, and the locals were so you've got to say you can't. But it was horrendous.
Well, we parked in
Floor.
the executive car park.
Oh, at the front.
Yeah. Probably got us in there as well, yeah.
One of the
six
stewards come
spaces.
to us and he says, "Can I ask you who's told you to park there?" I says, "In an office."
Yeah.
He says, "All right."
Oh, he was
He
doing.
says, "Stay where you are then."
Ollie Banks said, he said, well, when he knew we weren't going, he said, he says, I left under good terms. He said, I know chairman, he said, I'll give him a ring.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So nothing untoward really, apart from the disabled facilities or wheelchair facilities.
The only other point was that where the stand was, there were so many posts. Where the previous time, we'd been sitting at the edge of it,
Yeah.
where we were now was terrace.
Yeah.
But when you look to that far end, you had a job to see through because of all the posts.
In the press area, being inside, you've got window frames, and then you've got the posts on the thing. I sat in every seat in the press box when I got there. I was the first one in, and I was a single seat to see both goals.
Yeah.
Not a single seat to see both goals.
Well, some people just behind us were moaning about people stood on the steps in our stand. They saying we can't see.
Yeah.
And I turned around and said, even with them not on the steps,
Yeah,
you
you
will
can't
not
see.
be able to
Yeah.
see. I could barely see it before anyone else was in this stand.
Yeah. So, but hey,
It wasn't great,
yeah. But as I say, the stewards generally were really good, and the offering on the fan zone was really good. It's just a heap of a place, isn't it?
Yeah.
And,
Weather's fault.
yeah, and it was a horrible day as well, just to add to. In the home games, we had 2 home games then, so they were Harrogate and Carlisle, so it was a Saturday and a Tuesday. Any reports from our Chester champions?
No, it's been good for those games. We've tried a few different things as well, other than the stickers. Nights lighter in the evenings, we can do more on Tuesday nights.
Very much so, yes, of course.
We wrap up and
Yeah, well, we haven't got any left now, have we? Now they've all gone.
Tuesday.
No,
Oh yes, of course. I'm thinking yes, it'll be raised, isn't it? Of course. Sorry. So and you know, I've seen them going around and everything, and I've seen them coming into the stadium as well. So that core group of 8 to 9 still going strong.
Yeah, we've got the same group. It's a fantastic group. It really is. They're a great team.
Excellent. That's been a real good success.
Saw this with the tabard on Tuesday at the front of the West Stand.
Yeah, absolutely well done.
It's a bit noted. I don't normally park at Batch House, but gone for food beforehand. Quite a few cars still moving. There's one guy and said something to a guy in a car who's got his door open and giving a gobful, and I'll give him my 2 pennies.
I did walk it. Somebody had pulled out and started driving towards me, so I just walked straight towards him, and he just looked at me, and I went like that, and he didn't move then after that.
But now this guy's arguing back, and when he slammed his door shut, he got a very loud. He says 20 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. If you don't like it, don't park it.
Yeah.
I'm going to comment on, well, there were 2 things on parking the other night. Was another standing, there was from the area where there was still a couple of cars which were moved off while the mass of people were still coming out. That was one of the other incident was about just after 10 times, we've been a while queuing to get out. And I was going left to go into town, and cars were coming out quite rapidly on the other side and turning right to go out. Well, then when one car got there, he suddenly decided to go left and cause chaos. I got the registration number anyway.
Cause Philippines. Nobody's watching to see who gets Philippines.
Well,
we'll pixelate out your face.
It was dangerous driving, but by which time he was on the highway.
Yeah. You picked up some tittle about West 7.
Well,
we've now named Zelda. It's in the public domain.
Yes.
Zelda the Steward. It was basically on people not sitting in the seats, people standing on the corridors, stewards blocking views. There was a whole
there was a thing on because of people buying season tickets, and they were saying about, could we have singing area, maybe in S5, but that's not open, so we can't, and things like that. And it's like, the club could be proactive about that and have a singing section, maybe. They've said about it, John Cooper's mentioned about it for the last 2 or 3 seasons, and nothing's ever actually happened. But the issues that Tony Booker raised, he said that obviously people standing in the stairwells and gangways in W7 and S45 are obviously, they're having to put more stewards in there, so it's costing the club more money. Could we pass that on? So when it was mentioned on the message board, I said, right, this was fed back to us at the forum, I'm feeding it to you. Well, it's not good enough. They're asking on people for their tickets and leaving the young guns alone, and it's like, right? And these are old people that've got walking sticks and things, so when they're having to stop and get the tickets out, and one of them nearly fell over the last, not Tuesday, but the match before. So, you know, there's issues. So, and I'd said, look, you need to send it into the emails, and they have emailed in now. But it's, they're saying that
I think
it's,
a lot of it, and we have said this to Tony before, about the supervision of the stewards in there, it just doesn't seem to be working.
and a lot of people seem to have issues with the supervisor
Yeah.
in W7. And really, I think that maybe there needs to be representatives of fans that are sat in S4, 5 and FW7 and the club brought together and actually sat down and to speak to each other, because it's okay us moving things on and passing things on, but one lot will say this and one lot will say that, and nobody will actually come together. It actually needs to be them telling them what the issue is, because otherwise it's just secondhand and it's just going to go around and around and take months and months and months.
Well, we've already spotted incidents of where we've been hearing that the stewards have said something.
Yeah.
And yet Tony's saying, well, they've never had that in a briefing.
Yeah.
So where's it come from?
Yes.
You know, where's it coming from? Our stewards.
About
Have we got some of our stewards making things up?
Sitting the ticket and on that, but it's not gone away. W7 hasn't gone away. And I think this was it the Carlisle game people were talking? I think it was, wasn't it? I think it was the Carlisle game.
Yeah. Somebody had a 15-minute talk with the supervisor because he wasn't able to access the toilet because they couldn't because of the amount of security staff that they couldn't get through. The security staff had just stood there and wouldn't move when he said, excuse me, and then he just stepped back and took a photo of them because they wouldn't move.
Yeah.
So, and I have had that before where, you know, disabled person.
Why did people report it at the time? Because we couldn't do something about it at the time. It points afterwards. Because in fairness, and this isn't me, I don't work on behalf of club or stewards. Me and Tony work very closely together. They are under a lot of pressure with SGSA, and there was an inspector here on Saturday, Tuesday night. And those stairwells have become clear now, but it has cost a lot of money and it has caused a lot of grief. But there was people overcrowding S5 and W7 because they want to stand there. Yeah. So unfortunately, the only way to do that is the ticket check, and that's cross section. So it's not been targeted.
I think the problem is that
all supporters then blocked because them stairways have been blocked, and last two games have been clear.
And somebody else on here saying that they've been asked to show tickets to our seats in S5, and then the stewards are not asking youngsters for them. The youngsters are just climbing over the seats to get to where they want to, and not going up so they're not going to where the stewards are to ask them for their tickets. So, you know, people are feeling targeted because...
Yeah, there were some people saying they've been asked at least twice. And then you've got other people saying, well, they're seeing others not getting charged.
Yeah.
And associated with that, not quite the same, but associated with that, in those comments, there was about the exit gates as well. A lot of people say about the exit gates. Northwest corner and southwest corner. There was only one of the big double doors open inside south end of West Stand, and there's two double doors open. They're only opening one, so there's still a big lot of people only going out one, and the stewards won't open the second one. But then the north corner, which is one I've said quite a few times, the external gates never open once. But the irony with that, if the maximum exit gates were open, and I know we can all sort of say, well, you can still get the flow out of the green garden, and I get that. But the thing is, people will disperse in the car park quicker if they can get out quicker, and then that will reduce the amount of protection.
And then I've got
so get them out of the ground, as quickly as you can. That reduces the chances of somebody being knocked over.
Because I stated like the players, I don't know what's going on in the southeast corner. But for all I know, it's a bit slow. Making sure both sets of gates are open. Well, they're not opening both sets of gates, I don't know.
And then I've got, I thought that the issue with the northwest corner, the external gate, might be that because the ambulance parks there and all the paramedics and St John's staff park their cars and double, triple park, that might be why those gates aren't open, but surely it has to be kept clear enough for fans to get out if there is an emergency anyway. So I don't understand why they won't open that gate.
It's not been open for years, that gate, though, has it?
Once in the last season and a half.
Yeah. Well, so
Because you were on about the park at that corner, I mentioned it before Christmas when I come to a couple of meetings. I don't understand why they even parked here. And the media passes on and some of them, and they've not paramedic things on.
Yeah.
And there's an ambulance parking there, yeah. But the car parking space, still on the car park, they don't need to park there.
So they're parking on the inside of what we call the road?
Oh, right,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Right up against
Right.
the wall.
There's another thing,
Where the-
really. At one time, there used to be a silence around this ground that said, no parking with yellow lines.
Yeah.
They've been took down.
Yeah.
So therefore, some people ignore them. I come to a game, I control home games. I also walk right round before a game. I walk around, sometimes we come early, I go around twice. I come to a game a week, there's a coach parked on this corner inside yellow lines. So there's spaces along the back area. But they could have put it, but there's a coach parked there.
Yeah.
That was because when coach pulled up, there was still people using this facility parked, blocking coach baseball.
Yeah,
It
it was parked really where it shouldn't be.
Oh, it was moved before the
It
game.
was moved before the game.
Yeah, probably before, not very much before the game.
The spaces that are not used at the front, I know Ash Kate said they had to keep 6 spaces in case the
Yeah,
protesters
these
turn up.
are these got media passes and we've got paramedics.
Yeah.
But there is still plenty of space.
Yeah.
Yeah, just those
yeah.
spaces that look like plenty of spaces
Yeah.
might be ones at the 6 for starters at the clubs assigned.
Yeah.
And then sort of relating to that as well, somebody's also messaged me this morning saying, Tuesday night, they got in their car, they park at the north end of the ground, they got in their car, they got about 20 yards away from the front exit, the main exit, and the stewards made them turn around and go and come out of this back exit here. Don't know, but I said, I thought, they did have the cones across that corner, but when I walked out of the stadium, now I thought that was just to stop cars going through, and I did notice there was a lot more cars going out that exit on Tuesday, which the car park was cleared a lot quicker Tuesday night, because don't forget, it was nearly 11 o'clock by the time I left it for Tuesday. But he said he's emailed that it bounced back, but I know why that is. It's Paul's email.
Yeah.
But he's said, if they make people turn around then after the Bradford game, there's going to be a lot more people here.
Yeah.
But people were having to do 3-point turns because there were still cars parked and things like that.
Around.
And that's it, So either they've got to take them that way to start with, or they've got to let them carry on going that way if they're going that way.
Yeah, you don't want to be turning.
He said, he worked for DC traffic management team for 43 years. So he said, it'd be helpful if the stewards were clear in their instructions. If it was announced, if you're on X side of the ground, you go and use the back entrance. If you're on the other side of the ground, you use the front entrance.
Well, the fact of the matter is, if people don't move for 20 minutes, that should be open anyway.
Problem is that's an unadopted road, so we can't advertise to reuse it.
Oh, right,
It's
okay,
not-
yeah.
That's a problem. We're using it at goodwill, but we can't say you will use that
It
because
says
it's an unadopted road.
If
so-
it was up to him, he would turn the traffic lights off at Ernie Moss Way and make it a one-way eastbound, so no traffic entered the main road. He said it costs about £2,000 a year for a temporary traffic regulation order from Derbyshire County Council.
I'm going to say further to that road here, it's a service road. Is that just a service road?
Yeah,
to Tesco?
unadopted road.
Is it just a service
When the
road?
ground was built, there was an agreement with Tesco that coaches could use it. That's why actually only did coach exit. We've manipulated, but we can't advertise it.
There's an increasing trend of cars to park along there.
Yeah.
See the yellow lines that are painted on. I'm guessing if it's just Tesco, belongs to Tesco.
Yeah, no,
then
a traffic warden
there's
couldn't
no,
give you a ticket.
there's no jurisdiction or
No
anything,
jurisdiction.
it belongs to Tesco to deal with.
Tesco's could literally come across and crush it. It's an adopted road.
Somebody says they've had it in the opposite.
You have to pay to park in Tesco, aren't they?
And now they don't use this back end at all.
They only have a finite number of parking spaces that you can book on Just Park or whatever. And it's like, but they could park, they could just corner off this end bit. They do quite often, and they could have that as Chesterfield parking, overflow parking. But they don't seem to want the money.
Yeah.
But somebody else said they've had it where they've gone to that exit, but then the stewards put the bollards up and they've been made to go all the way back round to the front exit. So
Could you not make it one way?
I think that's kind of what they were trying to do, sort of make it that cars were going one way to come out here and then going that way to go out there. But
If you notice at the front, there's a car, when you're there for a while, there's cars coming.
both
That causes a lot of
directions,
problems as
yeah,
well.
yeah. And then somebody else said, could the club set up a short mobile number, maybe a WhatsApp thing, if people are having problems on match day, so it could be reported quite quickly. I don't
It's a
know.
QR code.
Is there a Q?
Is it?
QR code apparently.
They're on the little thing in the concourse.
Yeah, something to
But is that for safeguarding or
It
is
can be
that
for
for
every-
everything?
yeah,
So-
anything.
Safeguarding is quite important if you're about to get run over by a mad driver, and that's a safeguarding.
Spoke about it's just doing everything QR code, isn't it? Well, you'll siphon it
Oh,
off to
Need to be probably made a little bit more, people a bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that maybe needs to be put out that there are QR
It shows
QR
every
codes.
5 minutes, every half an hour.
On the
and
screen.
multiple times,
Yeah.
Toby's face.
Yeah, I know, I often say.
Yeah, I only
best
see
known-
Toby's
best known
face, I
place
don't
to-
pay much
best known
attention
place
to
do
what's
it.
written underneath it.
We drifted back onto the car park, but whoever it was that made the point about the singing thing, one thing that I'll bring up formally at the next committee meeting, which is before the match.
26.
Last time. I'm very disappointed that the club didn't run by its season ticket strategy through the committee before, and like I say, and then we could have said, what about it? And at least, if nothing's done, at least you know that they've thought about it. And thinking about it and not acting is better than not thinking about it and not acting, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed because I think when we first set up it to be, run that by, because we might spot something that's a little bit, ooh, right, have you thought about that?
There were a lot of things in media over the years about Crystal Palace, weren't there, with this one? At his end, where they all sing all ultras and all that, and basically people have been pushed out of them sections, aren't they, like, because if you're not a singer, they don't want you in that area, like.
Yeah.
It was all over social media about Crystal Palace over the years, like.
Oh, right, okay. But it's just, there might be just something, I don't think this year, as it happens, I don't think on normal season tickets, I don't think there's anything particularly controversial on there, but like I say, have we thought about this? Have we thought about West Ham? Have we thought about whatever? Have we thought about season tickets in the North Stand? Have we thought about, we talk people, perhaps having an area of the North Stand, maybe the first block on the west side, as having some of those barriers that if you do have a bit of difficulty getting upstairs, you can have a few in that block, and then you can put people who struggle in that block. They might not want to sit there, but you could perhaps just put 10 little individual railings down fairly quickly, as opposed to 3,000 that you need if you put them everywhere. And then if people have got that problem, use that. That's at the front of the community stand as well. So you tend to get younger people or whatever in there. So you're not going to be bashed around. People. I would imagine the behaviour about sitting in seats in the North Stand's generally pretty good and don't cause any issues, because you've got people who go and sit in the seats that are allocated to.
Yeah, you've also got space to get away with moving around.
Yeah. And go on.
I was just going to say, stewarding issues. Is that steward still there?
No.
No.
Oh, the sleeping steward.
Yeah, I did wonder whether he might have been moved.
Or has he just been moved? He's not where he was. He's got a new bedroom, hasn't
Yeah.
I think the threat was to move him somewhere that would keep him busy. Yeah.
he? Yeah.
That's it. You know.
Yeah, sticking in West 7 and block people's accesses. I received it's about season tickets in the lounges, and it's from is the club able to justify why a hospitality season ticket in the SBK lounge has been increased by 50% next season, when season tickets in other areas have incurred 5% increase? The price per game for season tickets 25-26, if retaining the 3-course meal option, is now £93, that's per match, and it's £56 this season, so it's gone from 56 to 93 per match. Deducting the cost of the padded seat in the programme, that means the meal alone costs around £65 per head. Did the club consider offering a one-course or a meal on the match day, carvery or something to keep costs down for long-standing loyal supporters? And again, there was no that I'm aware of.
So what the hospitality price is going to be like next season?
Quite a bit, I would think, but
It's always been full.
The state is saying
yeah,
it's going from
Yeah,
14
I meant from a one-off, you know,
One off.
yeah, one-off.
one-off.
But it's
So
like
won't be able to go in for a meal. So what the club looked at the other lounges, things like the 1866, when there was a demand for a lower price ticket with the option to buy food on the day.
Yeah.
With the bar, so they initially offered that with a period of time where people were encouraged to get in touch with John Crew, give you feedback, let us know what you want, what you think, what your advice is, what you pay, what you basically to find out what people wanted. And then people said that they want a 3-course meal and they don't mind paying extra for it because it's fantastic food, it's prepared on site, it's good quality, good service. Nobody really ever has a bad meal at the football club. It is to a very high standard. So then you grumble.
But there's a difference between paying extra and paying almost double.
So then the club put the option out, which people had asked for. They'd asked for us to price it up, so the club priced it up and put it out. And then that's the uptake. But we were also looking at other things like somebody went to the library meal for a 3-course meal, and it was just over £50 recently. That's a 3-course meal of food that's not prepared on site.
Yeah. But equally, I'm advertising the place at the moment is an event in October. I can't quite remember what it is. A 3-course meal and a band, which will obviously incur cost, and that's £40. So you can do a 3-course meal for £40 and make
It'll be different.
But I don't think the consultation was done.
So are you saying that
There's 3 full tables of people that are there every week, and nobody on any of those tables was consulted. The people that were consulted were business people who goes in 2s and 3s and 4s, not people who go on full tables. And then the secondary element about buying food on the day and everything along those lines came out almost as an afterthought. It wasn't well handled.
are you saying that if I want to book a meal,
You won't be able to.
hospitality for a birthday,
You
but
won't be
you
able to
can't
book
get
that for 3-course meal.
hospitality for a birthday?
You can go in and buy a burger.
So you can go in, but you can buy food on the day.
But it's buy a burger and chicken and chips.
We're not sure on the menu for the order.
Well, we've been
So
sent a
so
supplement.
so it isn't in the main. You'd be in the other one.
No, it's all in the same room.
Right.
And I don't know that, but I presume the reason is they're losing money, are they, or not making money, and because it's 6-7 hours of entertainment, isn't it? Like that.
But the other thing
I
is,
presume it's no secret.
No.
There must be a reason
And
behind
talking extensively to people on Tuesday night,
Yeah.
you can buy just a table, you can buy your seat in the thing, but you don't have to buy food.
Yeah.
You can buy a seat. On a Saturday, they start serving the food at 12:30. You're a captive audience for drink. People will go across the road and drink and come in at 2:00. They'll lose an hour and a half of people's drinking time.
Yeah.
Because people in the 1866 where that work don't come at the same time. They come in the SBK.
No, they come at
They come
2 o'clock.
Come at 2:00. So you get an hour and a half extra.
I was just saying, I'm thinking the flip side of that. And my brother goes away, he's got a table of 10 up there, so I know how good it is. It's 6 or 7 hours of entertainment on a Saturday for what? What's it work at £80, £90? Well, actually, It's how you look at it, isn't it? But
Yes.
ultimately, if the club are losing money on it, they've got to change it, haven't they? But it should be approached.
But if they're selling a 3-course meal for an event for 40 quid, does that mean they're losing money on that? Because they're trying to get £65 out of you?
Yeah.
It's a different type of evening, a different type of day of entertainment, and it's a different offering. So, for example, it'd be on a Saturday and it'd be a full day on a Saturday, just a few hours on the weekend, and things like the comedy night we serve curry, so it's a much lower.
Yeah, but that's a buying your own quality. Yeah, it is.
What would happen for the weekend?
25.
I'm not sure, but then you buy your food, don't you? I think, when you get the food in with
Well,
that.
it's a curry, so it's one, is it one course?
So it's a completely different offering, and for people who don't want that offering, the club are offering a cheaper way for people to access hospitality. So hospitality is more accessible to a wider audience of people, because that is the general consensus. The 1866 is massively oversubscribed, and so we're giving more people an option to come to the match, have a padded seat, have the hospitality experience. You can still come for your birthday and you can buy food on the day.
Yeah, but it's not a special thing anymore if it's a burger, is it?
You can
It's
you
not
not
special.
go and get a 3-course meal then?
No.
No, you won't be able to
Yeah,
get.
you have to buy a season ticket for a full table to do that.
But you
But
can
you're a
come.
massive uptake on that.
I don't think they'll be.
But the club looked at it and they didn't want to do the food because it was costing too much, and it wasn't. The club inevitably does have to run as a business, and it wasn't working. It wasn't a viable option for us to offer. So we didn't offer it. People then requested it, so we priced it up and we've offered it. And the reason the price is high is why the club didn't want to offer it, because it is an increase. It's still in line with other things, and it's still a reasonable price, in my opinion, for what you get, because you don't just get a meal. It's not just the 3-course meal or not the 3-course meal. It's a whole experience of coming into the lounge, being a hospitality guest for the day. It's the service that you receive. It's coming upstairs, having your meal, the entertainment that's in the lounge, the 2 hours.
What entertainment is that?
I'm not too sure. But
Quiz.
Just because it's right,
There's a quiz.
You're right.
It's a whole day.
But as people use it, the man of match presentations have become very low key because you get too many rowdy people in that people don't get, and the match before last, when Armando Dobra was man of the match, Nick wasn't around. One of the young lads out of the media couldn't control the room. Nobody heard what Armando Dobra said, and nobody did anything about it. So the offering has deteriorated.
So when it first started, of course, it was a stadium tour.
As a season ticket holder, if you wanted hospitality for a special birthday, whatever, you're getting a seat and a programme and
The
a bit of
object.
extra entertainment.
Come into the lounge, so you get to come into the main reception rather than just walk through.
But you can't buy a 3-course
Can't
meal.
get a 3-course.
No, it's food on the day, just like it's
Yeah,
even
yeah.
So it's
And on the cost, it loses its special appeal, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And on the cost, there's been a lot of games this season that haven't attracted a sponsor. We're now charging sponsors sort of money for the experience, and there's been several matches this season that haven't had any sponsors at all.
What's ours look like outside the other?
Yeah, what's our hospitality?
That's the biggest model.
But likewise, not all the shirts are sponsored. That
No,
went up
That
a
looks
lot.
up too much, yeah.
And I know the previous season it was too low, and demand outstripped supply by a lot, but this season it's gone nowhere.
Has there been any modelling, Lucy? I know you've
Anyway,
visited a few clubs, and you and Bridget have visited a few clubs, haven't you?
Yeah, what's comparison with our club?
It's apples and oranges, they're so different, some of the offering. I mean, at Wimbledon, on Good Friday, it's a stupid amount of money, but it's London prices, it's about 180 quid a head to go there. But you get free drink,
they are
so
very
you can't
different,
compare.
but we do
Somewhere you
offer,
go in and get
we generally offer a higher service to what other clubs
Yeah.
offer.
Yeah.
Things like everything that we do is we don't compete with the teams in the league with things like our sponsorships, or we do compete with them, but we are very sort of high class with everything that we do as a club, from sponsorships to hospitality to everything, the relationships that we build. We are competing at a higher level than we are teams.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it, but we do very well with what we do. So it's hard to compare, but benchmarking, we aren't ridiculously high.
So at the moment, we've got extra people in hospitality because not everybody gets a padded seat. So if you come in for the day to hospitality as a normal Chesterfield fan, are you going to be put in the seats that aren't padded?
Well, that depends on how many people take it.
That's just it, sometimes people have been winning hospitality.
I'd rather go in than unpadded seats. I hate the padded seats.
No, I don't like
but,
them, too short, it's right,
But that's,
But
it's the area of
they're,
speciality.
you know, they're not in the middle, you know, they're all the way over in front of the media places.
Yeah.
Because again, on Tuesday night, there's people coming out 5 minutes after the second half started and just standing there watching the game go ahead. And it's like, you're standing there watching it because there's something going off. Get in your seat so everybody else around you can see what's going on.
That nobody's actually said it's
Not quite as bad as
it's so many
well.
minutes till kick off.
I mean, you just
Because it's not until I've seen it before you get the door that I thought
It's
It's
not something you can talk about.
Yeah, well,
There's
yeah,
something you
yeah.
have to nip at the time.
I mean,
After the event, it's really hard.
But there's no stewards.
the hosting of it, because Deborah's not doing very well, so she's not been there. Nick's not always there every week. Nick hasn't got a right-hand man anymore. Dave Waller was doing it for a long time and knew the rep. Sean did it for a while, but there isn't the constant presence to read the room and get people out, which, you know, for a premium price is where you shouldn't be at. But you and I might disagree on the various things, but I think that actually it's what you say, Stella. The special element of it has gone away.
Yeah, I was planning because I've got a big birthday coming up in August, and it's like kind of
It
we're
will
for a
still
big
take
birthday in
welcome to
October.
it will still be a special day. You're welcome to come.
I've been in the lounge before anyway, and it was like I ordered pie, chips and peas and gravy.
And it was pie, chips and peas and gravy.
Yeah.
Well, our food's brilliant now.
On Tuesday I had a nice piece of sea bass. You're not going to get that in the future.
No.
So,
I mean, there's a choice in our lounge from chip butty, cheesy chips. There's always one special thing, and now they've got a special board on, a sharing board for £25. Well, we've not had that yet, but even down to chicken nuggets, the chicken nuggets are brilliant. The pieces of chicken in batter, which are lovely. Even Zoe can eat them and Zoe can't chew it, she can manage them. But there's a different choice every match for your main course, but there's always cheesy chips, nuggets.
Well, that has improved a lot in our lounge.
We think it's brilliant.
I think it's improved in the Brampton Brewery, no end.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot better option than it was before.
I mean,
But,
it's chock-a-block in there.
Absolutely. But like I said, people don't come till 2 o'clock, so they're drinking elsewhere till 2. And I think that'll happen.
So I suppose the question is, why have they changed it?
Yeah.
Why have they changed it?
It is to reflect the demand, and there is a period for people. Every person who is in the lounge has been emailed saying we want to do.
Well, I wasn't.
Every person who's walked onto it should have received an email.
I have never received an email about from ordering my food.
You took this
We've been
conversation
seeing ticket holder in there for 5 years.
They were sent to every house.
They were sent to everybody who's got an allocated seat, because Sylvia uses the wheelchair area. They were not sent to people who weren't allocated a seat.
Right, okay. If you'd like to email that in, we can
It's
add
been
people
sent.
onto that link, because we've got a new email provider, so we're still figuring out. But anybody,
Well, we've still not got Forum at Chesterfield FC working for a year.
so any issues like that, we can add people into the email. So.
Well, we didn't know there was an issue like that because we didn't get an email, so we didn't know anything about it.
But any feedback has been welcome to John Crew, and so any feedback that you receive, that's why the offering has changed to reflect that. And if anybody would like to send in feedback.
Well, the club will just find out
They'll
what
find out
happens
in
next
reality,
season,
yeah,
and they'll just have to see
No,
how it goes.
I don't understand, because there's always people in the non-padded seats in front of the. So hospitality's got to be full up. It was full up on Tuesday.
Just because it's full doesn't mean they make it money though, and I presume there's a reason why
It was good for a Tuesday night.
But if you get
There's no point running a business if you're losing money.
I don't know whether any of you read Ashley Kurt's thing in programme on Tuesday.
On Tuesday night.
And apparently because of national insurance,
Yeah, all the wages, everything. Oh, yeah, yeah, absolutely.
£20,000 a month more.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that, but it's told me that,
So
I can understand increases
part
in
of that is,
price.
it's got to be that, hasn't it?
I just don't
Yeah.
understand why people that don't want to pay for a season ticket in hospitality can't afford to pay for a season ticket in hospitality. Can't get hospitality like hospitality season ticket holders can get.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the issue
To
I
you.
have.
Yeah. Anyway, we talked about that
Yeah.
to death. So, are there any issues in the room that we've not talked about yet?
Additional away coaches.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Tranmere must have sold out within minutes, hours, first coach.
Yeah.
And the second one's not been put on.
So there's only one true
And I've got a
blue.
weekend in Chester.
Oh, lovely.
It's great,
It's
you know.
European.
But it probably done me a favour in the end, but shall we say that Lucy was aware of, shall we say, my email being flagged as Dover when it hadn't been. But I know there was other people who asked the question, and Liz has had several messages of people desperate to try and get some coach to Tranmere. And it sounds like there was an appetite for a second one. I wanted to put on.
Do we know how many Barrow are taking? Oh, they're taking one as well. So how many tickets have we sold? Do we know? It's
674.
because it went direct from there, or?
Get online there in the portal.
And a lot of people have had issues buying tickets, especially getting kids' tickets because of the way.
We have to give our inside leg measurements to get
I
some.
was going to say, I think it's disgusting what they're doing here.
Well, it's hard work, real hard work.
Did you read list of things about disabled?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well,
They want to know ins
did
and outs
you
of
have to,
everything.
did Sylv have to send her allowance?
Yeah.
I think that's disgusting.
Well, I
mate.
turned it under, I did put, so it's name, that she gets full PIP,
Yeah.
a name
And that
and her
weren't good
address.
Yeah.
It worked, they phoned me up then to say it weren't good enough.
Oh, wow.
So I said, can I just ask you this then, why is it not? She says, we need the old sheet.
All right, okay, I'll send the old shit, because the numbers you get are public domain, so I'm not bothered about that, but.
To see how much money she gets. So I said, well, I would ask you how much
Your
money
wage
you
slip,
earn.
wouldn't you, yeah.
I said, that's those wages what she
Was
gets.
this Tranmere?
Yeah.
It might be worth being
But then she did say,
disabled liaison officer to speak to Tranmere.
Well, the irony, I've
Can't
emailed
sell
you.
If you pay the ticket, to sell the tickets.
Who was it that you spoke to at Tranmere? Was it their SLOs?
It's who?
Was it their
Support
SLOs?
ladies.
Nina,
Nina.
yeah, she was one of them.
Yeah. She, I spoke to her because they're the best SLOs in the league by a mile.
Oh.
I contacted them as
They're
well, they've
fantastic.
been amazing.
Oh, right, interesting, because I've sent an email to the DLO and I've no reply in 3 days.
SLOs
they're
were
fantastic. So that's why I'm going to the game.
All right, I'll tell you who I
People.
emailed. I've not had a response.
What did you say is fantastic?
Nina and Louise, they're the SLOs for Tranmere. They've been doing it for years and years. They're volunteers. They both have jobs as well. But I spoke to them in length when I started the post here.
She's down as a disabled fame.
That's not something. But if you forward that to the SLOs, they're really, really on it.
Were the SLOs on the website?
Yes.
Well, she was down as the SLO
I think
on their
It's
who's
one thing,
who.
Jane, you're not trying to.
So,
Years working.
So
So you don't know.
Well, there again, it still said the manager was sacked.
They should allow to know.
How
How many
Oh,
times?
today.
They were amazing. Because honestly, my son's ridiculous.
It's not
Food
exactly.
issue. Email to see what options were.
Yeah, so
The menu
I've
got out, yeah,
got
they
too
made
many
it.
people disabled.
we're all talking, we're all talking.
No, I'm just listening to some of the stuff they've had to put. Zoe and.
Yeah, it's
hard.
But I did speak to them because I'm going up early, I'm showing you all the briefing, I'm doing a full day with them to see how they work, because they're fantastic, but they are hindered by their facilities, which is something that they are struggling with.
Yeah, because we go to our home funds. So.
Yeah,
They've got special dispensation from the
It's a ground like that
EFL,
though, you'd think by now they should, because it's decent ground.
Oh, yeah,
They've had
big
special
They've been there
permission
long
from the
enough.
FL to just have
No.
a
For now,
away
yeah.
fans, yeah.
But she did say that she spoke to you. She said she spoke to you for a while, and they tried to come up with the best plan for you for the weekend.
Yeah, she said that.
The answer is,
It was lovely, and
the answer is I don't know why, but the owner of the club is Mark Pallias, who's the chief executive of the Football Association. So,
Oh, well, that's it then.
I'll remember a couple more things. Tuesday night, come a bit earlier. I'm not usually in before, but I know to kick off. First time I've seen these net things.
oh yeah.
What's the actual belief in having them nets up and having other nets inside of the goal? It's supposed to be safe.
Yeah, they are for safety and to put the temporary goals. That means they don't go in the goal area and make the goal area.
Right. So I'd like to ask a question. I'm going to chase this one up. So when it comes to trying to take them nets down, which we did on Tuesday night, they both did all those. Why are all Carlisle players booting the ball, trying to put it into other nets, because that one's been took away, and balls are flying up like a goal stand, left, right and centre. If it's a rule that you have to have them, you have to put them there. Surely players have got to be told.
Yes.
You don't shoot.
Yeah, but we raised this, I think, last time when you did come and sit, because I think it was when we might have played Newport, they were not using them, and
It's a facility, not a rule, and you can't make players do it. It is ultimately what the club was set into.
Yeah.
They do try, but ultimately,
Yeah.
once they're out there training, they can do what they want. Well, that is an honest answer.
and most clubs kick into the bit where they're
do it.
I think the Carlisle fans club is saying Carlisle played it.
Yeah. But I think it was a Newport one that they literally did the opposite side.
Yeah,
where they should have done
Newport.
both. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, they're supposed to be
Because
we took that
what-
safety
everybody's
away, and
chanting,
they
they're not watching where balls are
went back and not that. You weren't even, to be honest, I know they were bad signs, but they were it was deliberate almost.
I mean, it's fair, and the club have invested in it because some of it was raised here as well.
Yeah.
They are new this year, last year.
Yeah, last year, because there was a few people, there was a couple of people injured last year.
Okay, you've got another point in? Yeah, well, let's bring to order, guys.
You know, the board have got football now, not
No date on it,
Forthcoming.
Carlisle, I think it still says.
Yeah, it says Carlisle today, you're right.
but it's had no date on it for all season.
Time, kick off.
Oh,
No,
Yeah.
no date on it
And
all
it's not
season.
on one on.
No date on it all season.
All
Yeah,
the
it's the
people,
date that's,
all the people
Don't mind
in
it.
the room know when matches are.
no date
We
on
all
it.
know when games are, because we come there, we're good at that.
Yeah.
But people going past, don't know when there's a game.
That's the whole point of it being
That's
there,
the whole
isn't
point,
it, to get
it's
people
not
that,
here for me, because I know when it's
Yeah.
about, you know when it's
Yeah.
about, you know,
Yeah.
you don't know when it's about.
And it's
It's down to a date, a time, kick, and
Yeah.
more important these days,
Kick-off time.
kick off.
Yeah,
And we made Rotherham in the other, in that.
whatever.
competition.
Yeah.
Didn't even bother putting it on board.
No, I think I
That
said
summer
something at
has
that
been
time.
lapsed
Yeah,
very recently.
yeah,
yeah,
it
They
has.
might as well just take it down.
No, I know exactly what
We're,
you're
all,
saying.
we're very good at advertising, we've got Frank Bruno,
Yeah. Yeah.
and things like
Lee
that.
Lamont.
And things like that. We've got John Lowe coming to play a few games now. We can't advertise his own games, probably.
Yeah.
I'll speak to the club and we'll get somebody put in charge of
It just
it.
needs, it just
Take
needs a.
responsibility.
It just
Yeah.
needs to be
Yeah.
time, date.
Yeah, we'll
What
get
date
somebody
is
in
it?
charge.
But the thing is that it's not very often that the club isn't changed on it. It's the fact that there has not been a date
But we're playing
and
Jimmy
time.
next Tuesday, it still says Carlisle.
Yeah,
on it.
it's just
Oh,
Carlisle.
Yeah, we'll get
Change
somebody in
of
charge of
Yeah.
it and then, it'll.
But I don't understand why there hasn't
Right,
been a date.
it's online, Marcia, got any questions?
Yeah,
online?
somebody said checked in late, emailed Club and Marcia about car park issues a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
Just
Got
wondering
those.
if there's an update.
yes, we talked car parks,
Yeah,
so yeah.
so, it's gonna be put back to the club as well and spoken about, so yeah.
Okay, any more?
Can I mention coach departure times forthcoming?
Again?
Yeah.
Yes.
Forthcoming, have we got
Again,
some dodgy ones?
the Tranmere one is 9 o'clock.
It's 2.5 hours there.
2.5 hours and it's the
Italy.
Grand National.
And the Grand
It's only
National.
2.5 hours, get rested.
Yeah. And apparently There's been told it's been considered and sticking it.
Cameron said Norway can change it.
Barrel's leaving at 9 as well.
They need to be there bang on time then, don't they? Way on time.
Well, yeah.
They have been getting published with the feedback that we had as well was that when tickets go on sale, we want to know how many we've got as an allocation and the coach departure time. And I have been checking and those have been put out for away fixtures now that we have the feedback.
I mean, a lot of people I've spoken to haven't realised that it's early because it's a Grand National. They didn't put 2 and 2 together that it's a Grand National. So, the coach company may or may not have known that it was the Grand National. If they wouldn't push it to the Grand National, I don't know. But, unless you follow racing, when that came out at 12:45, and unless you knew specifically why it was there, you wouldn't know why it was there. But I've no idea what traffic will be going up across the A6 or whatever for there might be none. I don't know, I've no idea. But people will be getting to Aintree at roughly the same time that we want to be getting into Tranmere.
Yeah.
I suppose it's a 12:45 kick-off and not a 12:30 kick-off, so that's a little bit.
But I was looking at the alternative routes today, and the A6 and turn left onto the M56 at Stockport. I don't think that at that time of the day there'll probably be as much traffic as we think there might be. And then when you turn off onto the M56, all the Aintree traffic will be going in a different direction.
Everton's at home to Arsenal at 12:30. That's not going to work, is it? Everton's at home to Arsenal at 12:30.
Well, everybody at Arsenal travel on a train, aren't they? So they don't put cars out.
And the other one was Wimbledon. Now, Ken just pointed out that when they were in the cup about 2 years ago, we were 20 minutes.
And you parked just outside Southampton, don't you?
Yeah, it was quite a walk.
Unbelievable.
So,
But we got it ground at 25 to 4 that day.
For a 3 o'clock kick-off.
Yeah.
It's worth with our experience of playing Wimbledon in the cup a year or 2 ago there. There is no car parking, no anything. But I think the coach company needs to be told that if there is a bit of running late, that they should drop people off at the stadium, because, like you say, the coach driver wouldn't stop to let people off. Drove past the ground, and everybody got in 35 minutes after the kick-off.
When was that time we were lastminute.com at Halifax? The police shut the road, didn't they? They pulled us up, shut the road so we could all pile off the buses and get in.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. But that was a coach driver thing. It wasn't stewards at Wimbledon, was it? It was a coach driver would not stop. No, I've been told I've got to park here, and it was a 20-minute walk away, or 25-minute walk
We went
away.
right up road, then had to do a 3-point turn in the middle of a busy road. To come back, they got 20 minutes out.
Yes, and because
And we're in Good Friday, it's going to be really good.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if it's a nice day and it's Good Friday, that could really put the
Yeah.
so that was it was the first time to beat to that new plough lane ground.
Yeah.
So it was a struggle. I think there was a train strike or something.
Yeah.
Oh yes, you're right, there was, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a struggle all the way. So leaving at the same time, filming with confidence.
No.
No.
Well, the one good thing generally, just Good Friday, they're pretty good at not doing motorway works that aren't already there, are they? They tend not to do that on bank holidays quite so much these days. But yeah, if you could sort of say, ask your colleagues at Wimbledon, if they are running to, can they stop?
So to Halifax one out, Wimbledon, I was at work all the time.
Because that was horrendous, wasn't it? Wimbledon. Well,
The Wimbledon, I mean, then if they've been dropped off then they go to know where to be on the way back. Because we've had problems where we said, where we will be here, and they're not there.
Just to give you an idea, on Saturday, the Barrow are using hundreds of titles because they can't get Skills or Johnson, so that tells you how busy coaches are.
Crikey. Oh, right, okay.
So that might be why they've not got up.
So
I would have just
I'm
appreciated it. We were unable to book a second coach. That would have been a nice response.
I'm presuming the club have struggled to book a second coach.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
Somebody's saying they just a suggestion, because they've not seen anything on social media yet regarding match day tickets for next Tuesday's game. With it being a huge game, shouldn't we be trying to get a big attendance for this?
And it's,
I mean, people,
and it's the school holidays.
and it's the first, yeah, it's the first
Because
day.
a lot of parents
we-
won't bring him on
Yeah,
when it's
well,
a school now,
we'll
because
say
it's not
that.
school now.
Let's say.
So,
Yeah, to watch it.
Exactly.
I don't think we're doing enough to sell ourselves as a club, as much as we could do. If you go to Matlock,
Yeah.
go in shops around Matlock, go lot Matlock fixtures.
Yeah.
You go to a big chip shop, you go to a big antique shop, you go to a big shop down there. You go out to the way to sell it. I know they're a small club, but I don't think we do enough.
Well, we just had the highest crowd for 50 years,
Well,
so
no,
we'll do something.
I think we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, but that to us, yeah. Because we read. One thing we'll do when we were too fast. We were there when we were too fast. But there's still people who don't know the things. I bet there's a lot of people still don't know.
Well, certainly if you drive down Sheffield Road and it's still Carlisle.
People might need reminding that it's
So
a rearranged
I think
fixture.
that's a very valid point, because it is a rearranged one. It's not.
So people may have
list.
already got their tickets from last match, but
I think also if we promote, people might get one refund for the rearranged fixture.
Yeah, they get to the day before or
One
something.
thing that
Yeah.
we've left it a little bit quiet, but there is things in place for the last 3 games after this, or 2 games, because
We would
might
welcome
need playoff.
Yeah.
There's we're looking at things that we can do.
Yeah, well, Bradford will sell itself out, won't it?
Yeah.
If we win.
Yeah.
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 But,
Be
yeah,
a huge game.
There've been a non-school night, but,
Yeah.
all the worries.
Yeah, good point,
Advertised
good point,
that
isn't
one,
it? Yeah,
Because
yeah,
people
yeah.
might think, you know what, we'll go take the kids to a match on Tuesday night.
Okay.
And just on fixtures, if you look on Bob's board, you've probably seen it already, Phil, someone's put a very handy little list of all our competitors and who they're playing, either within the top 10
Yeah.
already, and potentially underline them and bold them. Well worth having a look at.
it's the people that are playing. We've only got 2 of the top 10 that we're playing, and everybody else has got a minimum of 3, I think, or 4 that they're playing. The top 10 are playing the top 10. You know.
It's great.
If you listen to Weekend Warm-Up on Friday night at 7 o'clock, you might hear us talking about the remaining. You might hear about the remaining fixtures for our opposition.
Options to play at home, yeah, and that's always a disaster.
Well, just are we done? Are we formally done? Have we got all the questions off there?
Yeah.
Go on now.
Just a suggestion, looking at WhatsApp channel.
Yeah.
Because obviously not everybody wants to use social media, or people try to cut down on social media. You don't always see the most recent posts first, but I've just followed a few on my WhatsApp, and it's literally like a mirror image of your Facebook.
Broadcast channels.
Yeah, and you can get reactions, so you can't people can't reply to it, but you can like and things. So
So what's that for?
WhatsApp channels, yeah. So we've come off social media now, but we're looking. The force looking at it, we mentioned to you that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But that's why I wanted to cut down
money
social
on
media.
it as well for advertising.
Well, I just find it
13 got
people
two.
notifications on, it can still be forwarded.
Right, shall I turn off?
Okay, are we done? Are we done now?
Just,
Go
I
on.
think the club did get quite a bit of feedback on the actual post, so they may already be aware, but it didn't get down too well when there was a picture of something new in the shop and saying buy early for Father's Day. And there was quite a few comments underneath it for Mother's Days before that. And so they just, forgotten that when you do
Pipe and slippers.
football and do like to have things bought from the club shop for Mother's Day. Yeah.
Okay. Right, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Just,
it'll be just me next month.
Let me just tell you a few things to make you feel happy.
You're not here next month, are you?
Probably not.
It's just me.
I know I've said something, but I'll
easy on me.
believe you.
Thank you, everybody.
Tranmere.
Yeah.
7 defeats in the last 8 times we've gone to Tranmere. 5 consecutive defeats. Gillingham not beating them in 3 matches.